the team from Tamil Nadu just need a draw to clinch the title. But Gokulam Kerala would have to win this at any cost. I'm myself Sohan Poddar, and I'm joined by the CEO of League and Development, Mr. Sunandadhar. Welcome to the show, Sunanda sir.
Thank you, Shom.
And well, the Hero Indian Women's League, we have witnessed an extended format where 12 teams participated, vying for the top spot, and now 2 teams remaining for the title. Has the expectations been fulfilled?
Well, Shoham, obviously, this year has been tough for all of us. Means last 2 years have been tough. Unfortunately, we had to take a break from IWL. The last edition was in 1920. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't hold IWL last year. So it was a challenge coming back and doing the IWL this year in a bio bubble. And obviously, the greater challenge was to make the IWL bigger with more teams, more matches, longer duration. Maintaining the bubble for longer duration was always a challenge. But I think thanks to everyone, the local organizing committee, Football Association of Orissa, Government of Orissa, and obviously the teams, everything has turned out to be very well. And we are on the last day with the top 2 teams playing, and couldn't have asked for a better finale.
And well, the government of Odisha providing infrastructural aids to all the 12 teams. How crucial is the role of a government in terms of the mental strength and moral booster for the teams and the clubs?
Well, over the last few years, we have seen that Odisha has truly become the sports capital of the country. And it's not only about football, but hockey in a big way. Athletics and other sports are equally getting the prominence, national and international tournaments in Odisha. And we have obviously over the past few years worked very closely with the Odisha government. Our teams have stayed here. The Indian Arrows have been based out here. And the support has been tremendous. The infrastructure development which we have seen in Bhubaneswar and overall in Odisha has been fantastic. Obviously, we are all looking forward for the FIFA World Cup in October. Odisha, Bhubaneswar is one of the chosen venues. In the past, we have had Super Cup. So the support that we have always got from Odisha government has been fantastic. And this year also, as I said, it was difficult for all of us. So the support in these difficult times, Odisha has always extended its arm of friendship to All India Football Federation, and we are ever grateful for that.
We have seen 2 local teams from Odisha participate in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. Odisha Sports and Odisha Police Rising Students previously were the champions of the 2017 edition. How was this transformation possible in the state of Odisha?
I think over the last 5-6 years, we have seen a great development of women's football, especially in Odisha. And credit obviously goes to Football Association of Odisha for that, and also the support that the Odisha government has given to them. Rising Students won the 2nd edition of Hero IWL. And this year, we have had 2 local teams playing, more than 60-65 local Oriya girls playing, and I think they have done really well. Sports Hostel has finished in the top half, which is very creditable. We have had quite a few seasoned teams playing against them and really performing well. I think that goes a long way for the the development of women's football, especially in Odisha. I'm sure this will bring in a lot more younger players into the scene. And hopefully with the years ahead, we would like Rising Star. We would see maybe in future years more Orissa teams playing and winning the championship.
And well, most of the results in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League have been lopsided with one-sided affairs. Do you think increase in number of foreign players from next season onwards would make the competition a lot more competitive?
See, that's a difficult question because we have seen in the men's also over the past few years we have tried and bring down the foreign players because that's what the national team coach also wants, that more and more local players play so that it gives him opportunity to scout for local talent. But yes, foreign players bring in their own charm into the tournament. We have restricted the number of foreign players in IWL. But whether we need to increase it or whether this is what is the best model, I think the technical department and the technical committee of the AIFF are the better place to take a decision on that. We'll obviously consult with the national team coaches, and then we'll come out with the final. But as of now, I think we are good with the number of foreigners that are playing in Hero IWL.
And well, the introduction of the Indian Arrows in the Hero Indian Women's League, like we have the Indian Arrows men's team in I-League for the past 12 years, it has been a massive success. We've seen a lot of players emerge to the system. Expecting a similar sort of scenario with the women's team as well?
Ideally, yes, because we have seen that the Indian Arrows, the boys, have been there for last 8-9 years now. And I think the current Indian senior team, maybe 70-80% of those boys at some point in their career were part of the Indian Arrows. So obviously the success of Indian Arrows in the boys prompted us to try the Indian Arrows in the girls also. This is the first edition of it, and I think they have done reasonably quite well, because they have also finished in the top half, among the top 5. So coming just before the tournament, and these are all very young players, and playing against seasoned professionals out here and finishing in the top half, I think the Indian Arrows, the coaching staff and the players deserve a lot of credit for that. And I think this is something which in the long run will really prosper well for the senior national team.
We've seen a lot of teams this season, not only in the Hero Indian Women's League, but also in the I-League, come from remote areas. And Mata Rukmani is one of the recent examples. How was this transformation possible in terms of bringing up clubs from areas which is not known as a footballing hotbeds?
I think that's a very good and valid question at the right time. We have been at the All India Football Federation, we have been trying to expand the game, take it to new horizons, new centers. We have obviously started working more closely with the state association, trying to empower them, trying to convince them to start leagues, both at the boys, girls, and also at the youth level. And I think credit to a lot of these state associations. One thing is for sure, the stronger the league you have, it's the stronger teams you get out of that. And that is the reason we see a lot of teams coming from new states. We have seen in I-League also, team coming from Rajasthan, doing very well. And as you rightly said, a team from Chhattisgarh, Mata Rukmani, from deep inside the forests. And it's a real credit. I think each one of them have been champions in their own way, because they have become champions in the state and come for IWL. So all these 12 teams are champions. And Mata Rukmani really represents the heart of India. And I wish there will be more such teams in the near future from other states, which will come and play at the national level.
And well, Kerala organized the Santosh Trophy, West Bengal organized the Hero I-League, and now Odisha organizing the Hero Indian Women's League. How these partnerships are taking Indian football forward together?
Well, obviously, as the situation was, we had to have these leagues in a centralized format. And we're having the I-League, the Hero I-League for the last 2 years in Kolkata. Obviously, a lot of support from the state association, in that case, the IFA. And also, we have taken the second division was in Bangalore, and now coming out here for the Hero IWL. Obviously, the support that we have got from the local community out here, whether it's the Football Association of Orissa or the government, the sports department, has been fantastic. It wouldn't have been possible without their support, because obviously our power is also stretched with so many tournaments happening, maintaining the bio bubble, and ensuring the safety and security of all the players. So without the support of the local community out here, a big thank you to the KIIT, which we use for accommodation of the teams and officials. That have been fantastic. No complaints from any teams from there. So it was a team effort, and that is what is required. In these difficult times, I think that is what kept us the hopes alive. And hopefully, I'm sure we would again love to come back to Odisha and take the game forward again.
And well, Gokulam Kerala in recent history is one of the most successful clubs in Indian football. And after Viva Kerala went defunct back in 2010, there was a lack of clubs in the top flight of Indian football from Kerala. Then Kerala Blasters came in 2014, and then Gokulam Kerala in 2017. They defended the Hero I League quite successfully this season, and would repeat the same tonight if they manages to clinch a victory against Sethu Madurai, because they were the winners of the Hero Indian Women's League's 2019 edition and also became the first club from India to play in the AFC Women's Club Championship. So how do you see to this meteoric rise of Gokulam Kerala?
I think all credit to the management. And I think Gokulam Kerala really signifies the way football and overall football should be developed at the club level. And I think credit should be given for them not only concentrating on the boys, but also equal concentration on the girls. And I think they're the only club among the top teams in India who has got a team in the boys as well as the girls at the top level. And this is no mean task. And obviously, it helps that they are very serious about their performance. We just saw that they were the first team in the history of I-League to win back-to-back championships. And at this moment, they're standing on the threshold of history. If they win the Hero IWL today, they'll be back-to-back winners also. That Kerala winning the Santosh Trophy. So it seems that Kerala is the toast of the nation at the moment. And it's fantastic to see the growth of football in Kerala. We all know the passion that they have, the crowds that they have. We recently saw the crowds in Manjeri during the Santosh Trophy. So the performance is obviously backed by the support. And it's fantastic to have teams like Gokulam who are really contributing. And also they have contributed a lot in the grassroots and youth development. And every year in I-League or in IWL now, they get local players and throw them into the deep end. And they really survive and bring the best out of the teams. So I think lot of credit to Gokulam Kerala.
And your take from today's game, as Gokulam Kerala, they can live the title with a draw. And Sethu Madurai, they need victory at any cost. Do you think which way the trophy gonna go? It's going to the south, that is quite guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't want to put my money on the results, but yeah, I think the draw worked out perfectly for us, and these two teams, Sethu and Gokulam, have been the best two teams of the league, both unbeaten, have won all their matches, and it's a perfect draw the way we made it, so that they're facing on the final day the last match, and the winner takes it all. Obviously, Sethu needs to win it. Gokulam needs just a draw. But I'm sure Gokulam won't be playing for the draw. That's a dangerous way to go down. But so it will be very exciting. Both teams have quite a few stars in them, Indian players, current Indian national team players. So the competition will be tough. And hopefully the best team today will win and lift the trophy.
And well, before I end this, my last question is to you. The coming season, Durand Cup is going to kickstart in the month of August, ISL in October till March, and followed by a Super Cup. We are having an extended format in Indian football, domestic season. How do you look at this? Was it the need of the hour?
Definitely. The idea was to have more matches for the players and have an extended 8-9 months calendar. And that's when we sat down with all the stakeholders and decided that we'll have the curtain raiser with the Durand Cup, which will be also a bigger tournament this year with 20 teams in 4 groups, which will go on till September with I-League and ISL starting in October, going up to March, and with the Super Cup in April and May. That's for the boys. And the girls also, the plan is to have the Hero IWL from December. So that's the best weather to play football. And I'm sure that will give the opportunity to girls to perform even better. And hopefully keep the momentum and have the tournament in a bigger format. so that gives an opportunity. But I think other than the senior team tournaments, I'm more excited that after a 2-year gap, we'll have the youth leagues back. We have the 3 youth leagues in the boys, the 13, 15, and 18. Very excited to say that we are planning to have under 15 for the first time in girls, along with under 17, because we feel that the youth leagues are the backbone, which is from where the players will come out, the players of tomorrow will come out. And we have an extended youth league, and hopefully we'll have more and more states participating and organizing the youth leagues at the state level, and then the champion teams qualifying for the final round. So very excited that after a 2-year gap, we'll have the youth leagues and at least 5 youth leagues for boys and girls. So that's the highlight of next season.
Well, the 66 matches went live in Eurosport this season, the Hero Indian Women's League. Are you satisfied from production point of view?
Well, I'm a little tough guy to satisfy. The production was good, but I'm sure we can do a much better job. But under the circumstances, I think it was a good effort from everyone. As I said, to make an event successful, we need to have a team working behind. And the production team was definitely part of that team. And we'll all sit down after the tournament and see how we can make it even better next year. But it has been a fantastic 65 matches, and hopefully the 66th would be equally good. Thank you so much.
Well, that brings us to the end of our pre-match discussions. And now let's wait for the kickoff, which is going to be soon within the next 15 minutes. Stay tuned.
Oh God, I'm so bad at this.
Okay. And basically क्या करना है?
I cannot even draw a bird.
You can draw anything, any kind of caricature, anything.
No, I'm saying I don't even know how to draw a bird. Forget drawing anything at all. Ready? Okay. Okay, guess it. Guess it. Take a random guess. लिया तो.
And show to that camera also.
Look at this.
Similar, no sir? इसका थोड़ा मोटा, इसका मोटा मेरा छोटा वाला.
This is a tree. That's not a tree. Okay. My drawing is so bad. Okay, yeah, this one she gets.
Oh.
It's 1-1. This one you
Two,
get.
I think. Yeah.
That's 1-1. Okay. My drawing is really bad. That's what I told you. I cannot even draw a bird. So.
Should we give her 1.5?
Yeah.
For the flower?
That's not fair. We'll see it after my round is done. Okay?
No, it's not. That's only
You
fair.
have to give,
no?
I cannot feel anything. What the hell? Can we have another round of the drawing again?
उसके ऊपर ही
I didn't feel anything. Yeah, and just smaller drawings, yeah.
Smaller.
Huh. I drew a sun and a tree. Okay.
Smaller.
Is that what it is? Okay, that's 1-1. What?
Yeah.
What?
want to know
Again.
Okay.
And well, it was Sethu Madurai's top spot, and then it was Gokulam's, and it was kickstarts too for some time, but it has come down to two teams still standing. Sethu Madurai versus Gokulam Kerala in the final of the Hero Indian Women's League's match number 66 to decide the winner. And if this season has taught us anything, never write a script before a football match and never predict it, and never ever write off a team. Anything can happen in this game, and with that hope, Sethu Madurai will take to the pitch against a side which only needs a draw to defend the title. And the winners of the 2019 Indian Women's League, the country's top professional football league, it has been a meteoric rise for Sethu. In just 2 years' time, and that has culminated into a 3-1 win by a squad of women who hails from villages and towns across the length and breadth of Tamil Nadu. And the sponsors have been the backbone of everything they do, and more importantly, their partnerships with the government, with educational institutions like Lady Doak College in Madurai and in Annamala University, helps them fulfill their assurances to the players. And the goal of this arrangement is simple: deepen and a talent pool, strengthening the bench and help the girls play more confidently. And well, Crispin Chetri,
we are all
confident of winning
positive
the title. Let's
and
find
we are
out what he
looking
has
forward
to
for
say.
this match.
And it's been very even on the table between your side and Gokulam.
Yeah.
So how do you plan on taking them on today?
Yeah, like I said, we didn't have much time to prepare something different or whatever. We did few tactical things, and it was mostly for this match. It was mostly you can say mental preparation. So I think we look good in the training pitch also yesterday. So hopefully everything will be smooth today.
Can you give us a bit more insight on the mental preparation bit?
I just wanted them to have a belief, to believe in themselves, like they are the best. So if they can overcome that, I think we'll be coming out with 3 points.
Thank you, coach, and all the best for the game.
Well, Sethu Madurai lineup for this evening, it is turning out to be a very interesting encounter, and Crispin Chetri likes to tinker with his team. But tonight there is only one change, as the defense remains the same and has big task to stop Gokulam Kerala's attackers, as Karthika is the player who comes in for Durga, and the front three will have support from playmaker Anju Tamang, Renu and Elizabeth, who will look to drift wide and use their pace, and emboldened by a fit and now firing Sandhya, the number 7. And Crispin, like all the fans of the club, will know that they do not need a win, they need just a convincing win. And looking forward to this first season, that they have gone down to the final day, and it's up to Sethu Madurai to touch down the misery of 2 years ago behind them and go out there and get full 3 points. And well, the substitutes for both the sides, of course, the likes of Elizabeth, Vanlal Maui, Devneta Roy, all of them available for Crispin Chetri tonight. Talking about Gokulam Kerala, the HIWL has thrown up riveting storylines and surprises, winners in the last few seasons. But Gokulam Kerala, 6-year-old club, will be banking upon its good run of form in decent tournaments and a formidable squad under the tutelage of the head coach Anthony Andrews, and win the title and defend it like the men's team. They've had an ideal build-up to the Hero Indian Women's League season, bagged their first scoreline Kerala Women's League title, and the Malabarians were almost also became the first Indian club to play in the AFC Women's Club Championship in the month of December last year, where they went down to top West Asian clubs in the AFC Cup. And well, Anthony Andrews, the head coach, excited for today's clash. Let's hear it from the man himself.
We are very excited to play against the former champions at Sethu FC. It's been an incredible run for us in this season, and we are looking forward for this final game. We will approach this game in a very positive mindset, and we have done our homework, and I'm hoping for my girls to put up a good show.
Is there anything specific that you've worked on, specifically because you're facing Sethu, who are like your team, yet to lose a game?
Yeah, we have seen Sethu, and they are, as I earlier mentioned, they are very good in attacking phase. So we need to be very careful, but we have done our homework, and we're gonna take our chances early.
Cheers, coach, and all the.
Now let's get into the team news of Gokulam Kerala for this evening. And one change from Anthony Andrews. One of them was the obvious, with the return of Soumya into the 11. and she will partner Kashmina, and the two fullbacks who have started every league game so far. Winton is out due to national duties, and Ashalata Riturani all starts today for Gokulam. And of course, Manisha Kalyan, she already has 13 goals, so that is the quality quantified. And up front is El Shaddai, who has been unstoppable since joining Gokulam Kerala. And one more goal, and El Shaddai could also become the club's all-time top goal scorer. And it is the biggest knight sitting at the top of the pile. It's up to Sethu Madurai to knock them off. And Anthony Andrews has done a fantastic job, none more so than in December, bringing in El Shaddai. Her goals have helped Gokulam Kerala side to propel to the top of the table, and we'll want to see it over the line tonight. Well, the referee for today's game is Kanika Burman, and she is going to be assisted by Reshmi Chetri and P. Suman. The fourth official for today's game is Ranjita Devi, and match commissioner Sudhir Menon. Well, Sethu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala both on equal number of points, but the fact that remains the punchline in this new chapter is that Gokulam is even do it with a draw, but Sethu Madurai can only do it with a victory tonight. And whoever puts the ball in the back of the net wins it, usually as simple as that. Yet it is not, because the same task can be meant to sound as complicated as possible. And well, somewhere between those two realities lies the nature of the sport. But tonight there is a slight test, and Sethu Madurai will have to beat Gokulam Kerala, as most of you already know. And anything other than that, the Malabarians can still win the Hero Indian Women's League title. And well, Sethu Madurai have been here in this situation before last campaign, and Gokulam need just a draw, and sometimes that may not be very good psychologically. And of course, the likes of Sandhya, Manisha, all players with performances in them to win games on their own. But tonight is about stepping up. It's about stepping up in the big games, stepping up when it matters. And what is fantastic, that we have been blessed with a season where we have said that again and again, it's time now for the action to happen. The number 7, Sandhya, is going to lead the Sethu Madurai team from the left flank, and Aditi Chauhan between the sticks is the India international, is the skipper of the Gokulam Kerala Football Club. And for the second time in 2 years, after highs and lows and some magnificent goals and entertaining draws, the champions will be decided in the final day. So friends, families and fans, hold tight, because the final drop in this roller coaster still has 90 minutes left. And this is the Hero Indian Women's League. Are you ready then? 310 kilometers separating these two cities. And in a vast country like India, 310 kilometers is nothing. But in football, 1 point is everything. Sethu Madurai against Gokulam Kerala. Hopeful champions elect against the title favourites. And so the curtains come down on this season of the Hero Indian Women's League this evening. But not without Sethu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala capping it with one last fight. For fans watching this, an unprecedented season like no other comes to an end. But whoever gets their hands on the trophy will usher in a brand new era in an incredible way. It's a battle of the top two in a summit clash at the Kalinga Stadium. And we are just underway. Move aside mediocrity, because some serious class is in order. An early entry into the Sethu Madurai area from Gokulam Kerala. It was El Shaddai drifting onto the left channel. Now the ball is back with Asharata Devi. Gokulam will look to pile on the pressure right from the word go. A lovely give and go, Soumya running into space, and she is chased by Sethu Madurai's number 13, Kaushalya. Attacks the byline, gets the cross in. But easily collected by the goalkeeper, Soumya. And both Aditi Chauhan and Soumya have conceded only 3 goals this season in the Hero Indian Women's League. And Elizabeth bringing it down. A heavy touch and Kashmina recovers. And Gokulam Kerala no. They can even do it with a point, but sometimes that kind of a calculation can be difficult for teams to navigate. You have to do it with a win. Sometimes can be a blessing in disguise for the teams. There's no fallback plan for Sethu Madurai. They have to win it. And now pressing high the team in blue. Rashalata Devi, she's got plenty of experience in her locker to hold the move off. The India international Ranjana Chanu making that clearance and throw in for Sethu Madurai. And expecting a tactical game in the first 30 minutes. Both the teams will try to have a look at each other's game plan. And Gokulam Kerala just dipping their toes onto it before placing their best foot forward. In comes the cross and easily dealt with. Under a bit of a pressure, Ashalata Devi. And that brings a corner kick for Sethu Madurai. The first corner of the game within the first couple of minutes. Look to swing in a telling ball. An outswing floater goes up for it. Manisha Kalyan doing her part of defensive duty. Shot comes in from Anju Tamang. A sharp deflection, and that's the opening goal for Sethu Madurai. Gokulam Kerala defense caught napping. And the corner kick have finally worked for the team in blue. And the former champions are celebrating. Gokulam Kerala went down against Indian Arrows. And once again finds themselves trailing. On the decided day, it is the Judgment Day headliner in the Hero Indian Women's League. And a rude awakening for Gokulam Kerala. As Sethu Madurai scored from the first move itself. And El Shaddai, meanwhile, is cutting a very frustrated figure. Let's have a look at the corner. Misjudging the flight of the ball, Ashalata Devi. She stood firm. Going up for it was the number 15. A shot from Anju Tamang taking a lucky deflection for Renu. And she nods it into the back of the net. An excellent start. Breakneck beginning. There's some early nerves involved in the Gokulam Kerala defense, maybe feeling the brunt of defending a title. The men's team was quite successful in doing so at the Salt Lake Stadium against Mohammedan Sporting in front of a jam-packed Mohammedan Sporting fans. Sethu Madurai just proving that they are no pushovers. They have come here to make a statement. A slight sluggishness in the Gokulam Kerala defense, and it's been exploited by Sethu Madurai. This is Soumya, ball from deep. El Shaddai is chasing, but she is pulled from behind, and it is a free kick for Gokulam Kerala. And after 65 games, it comes down to Sethu Madurai facing Gokulam Kerala, the top two teams in action. For the very first time this season, a new beginning for new legacy. The two teams will showcase ambition and passion. And tonight, a new star will take the lights. Heroes will emerge. History will be made. Only one team can be the champions and create new legacy. Who will it be is the question. And meanwhile, an early yellow card been flashed out by Kanika Burman, today's referee. She has been in charge of this nail-biting of an encounter. And Dalima Chiba in set-piece duties for Gokulam Kerala. Chiba floats it towards the back post. Header comes in. Just had to keep it underneath the crossbar. Out jumps her marker was Ratan Bala Devi. It was Elizabeth, the Kenyan forward, at the back post defending the number 10. But she somehow managing to out-jump Sethu Madurai's jersey number 27 and get the header away. Thankfully for Gokulam and thankfully for Sethu Madurai, it was not on target and it is a goal kick. Sandhya played it out. Stung by this reversal, Gokulam, they need a quick response. Is Dangmei Grace at full stretch? They are defending with all hands on deck, Sethu Madurai. From now on, their plan will be to go all out and get the second goal, get the third goal. If they sit back and defend, it can be quite risky against this Gokulam Kerala team who are ruthless going forward. And that's the confirmation of the yellow card. It's given to the number 24 of Sethu Madurai, Mitchell Castana. We've had 296 goals this season in the Hero Indian Women's League in 65 matches. And if you count that strike from Sethu Madurai, it's the 297th one in 65 and a half matches. Sethu Madurai really getting under the skin of Gokulam Kerala, giving them a taste of their own medicine. In many ways, one may feel like the ultimate expression of modern Indian football, a club with history and pride, and against one of the newer teams, and the Hero Indian Women's League in its fullest, with the quickest breaks and the most audacious goals, the biggest tackles, and of course the most crafty flicks from the players on the pitch, and two of the most cerebral managers, one obsessed with the complexities of the game of justifying who he is, and the other simplifying football in the most delightfully effective ways in Crispin Chetri. And so can Sethu Madurai do the unthinkable here. Come what may, this has already been a season with sparkling storylines. 7.5 odd minutes on the clock. It's gone out of play, an injury to a Gokulam Kerala player. Play stopped momentarily. Gokulam Kerala and Sethu Madurai are aware of the fact that Gokulam Kerala have got plenty of firepower in their ranks. 1-0 is never a safe score line in the game of football. Those margins can be popped very easily. We saw them make a comeback against the Arrows, but it has so been the case in the Hero Indian Women's League. Teams getting their plans right against Gokulam have troubled them. We saw SSB in the first half against Gokulam Kerala, and keeping things tight at the back. Arrows as well finished at 1-1 in the first half, but it was a narrow escape for the Malabarians. El Chadai coming to the rescue and scoring the equalizer, giving them the lead. And after scoring the equalizer late in the first half, that story, that win is in the past now. In football, one has to look in the present. Winners of this game will qualify for the AFC Club Championship next year. And now Kashmina pouring forward. Gokulam Kerala, Manisha Kalyan with a flash of pace goes past the marker as if she did not exist. Manisha Kalyan keeps on going, but Kaushalya steps in and stops her on her tracks with those long spindly legs. Manisha Kalyan, she's a terrier down the left channel. And both these players, Ranjana Chanu and Manisha Kalyan, combines very well within the game. And Manisha also tracks backs and supports Ranjana Chanu. That is quite the requirement of modern day football. Sandhya, Dalima Chiba stepping up. It's a 50-50 situation. Keeper somehow managing to get there first. Keeping Dangmei Grace at bay. But Gokulam Kerala at least showing some positive intent. Most of the fans in the Twitter put their money on the Malabarians. And now it's stolen away by Elizabeth in a very, very dangerous area. And Karthika had to run behind to arrange it. Pavitra on the overlap, kept in play. Pavitra riding the challenge from Soumya. Gets caught out there to Dalima Chiba. Short passing build up from Gokulam. They are feeling the heat here. but they have got plenty of experience in their ranks to ride the storm, to mount a comeback. 5 India current national team players: Ashalata Devi, Dali Machiba, Aditi Chauhan, Ranjana Chanu, Ritu Rani. Do not forget Manisha Kalyan as well. One of the brightest prospects of Indian football. El Shaddai making inroads inside the penalty area, and a penalty has been awarded to Gokulam Kerala as Kanika Burman points to the spot as El Shaddai was nicked from behind straight onto her shins. Let's have a closer look at the action replay. That was the challenge from the number 24 Mitchell. She's already on a yellow. A sent off here. I'm gonna add insult to injury. And that was that extended left foot from Mitchell, bringing down El Shaddai, and a penalty for Gokulam Kerala. And we are off to a sublime start here at the Kalinga Stadium. In the battle of supremacy, which team gonna have the last laugh? As the Hero Indian Women's League unfolding stories of some indomitable spirits. It is unfolding a new chapter in Indian football. Will there be a redemption here? Can the goalkeeper Soumya redeem herself and make one of the most vital saves of the season? El Shaddai is taken out for treatment, and the responsibility going to lie on the shoulders of Ashalata Devi. She has already converted one spot kick, and that was against Kickstart Football Club. Can she repeat the obvious here tonight, here at the Kalinga Stadium, is the question. El Shaddai is slightly limping. She is at the top of the pile when it comes to goal scoring, and looks favourite to bag the golden boot. 19 goals and 4 hat-tricks for the Ghanaian centre forward. And Ashalata Devi rolling up her sleeves. And eye-to-eye contact with Soumya. Is this the moment for Gokulam Kerala? Are they on the road to resurgence? We have seen few wonderful players in this tournament missing spot kicks. Ashalata Devi will be under a bit of a pressure. It's never easy, and got to keep a calm head. She's got a nerve of steel. Here goes Ashalata Devi, and the goalkeeper judged the right way. But the pace on the ball took the keeper by surprise and out of Soumya's reach. And finally Gokulam Kerala back on level terms within the first quarter of this game. And it's even Stevens here at the Kalinga Stadium. And look at the spot kick, placing it into the bottom corner. Keeper at full stretch, still not managing to get the feel of the ball. And it is an area where even the best goalkeepers can't get there. Placement was inch perfect from the central defender. And it's 1-1 here. Now Sandhya, she split it out. She is going to be Sethu Madurai's biggest creative force, the number 7. With her mazy runs down the left channel. And Dali Machiba will have her job cut out today. Arifa also has a big task on hand to stop Manisha Kalyan. It's just the beginning of the game. We will see teams open up as the game progresses. A decent tempo already to this game. Kashmina. A tad too long for Manisha Kalyan. Just asking a bit too much from the youngster. El Shaddai, the prolific Ghanaian striker, has taken the Hero Indian Women's League by storm with her dazzling scoring form for Gokulam. She is all set to make history by becoming the first woman from Ghana to be the top scorer of the tournament. Bala Devi, of course, is the all-time top goal scorer in the history of the Hero Indian Women's League with 35 goals. And being a foreigner, El Shaddai, everyone needs some time to adjust, but that hasn't been the case for her. She has been with the team for a few months now, and everyone makes her feel at home. And the Hero Indian Women's League is a good platform for exposure to many players like her. I can see Elizabeth as well from Kenya. The efforts, the enthusiasm, the passion of everyone makes the league so competitive and interesting. She aims to score 20 goals and set a record for herself. And Gokulam Kerala on a mission here from the right hand side, Dangmei Grace. And off the ball, a few hot words exchanged between Dangmei Grace and the number 11 of Sethu Madurai, and that is Grace Lalrampari. Both the namesakes, in fact, having a go at each other. A backhand flick from El Shaddai, and not on point, straight to the keeper though. And Gokulam Kerala will bridge down the gaps. They've got plenty of experience. Now once they reorganize and regroup, they shut down the gaps and mount those forward moves at a breakneck pace. It's all about Sethu Madurai matching with them in pace. Once they fails to do so, it's going to be a task for Sethu Madurai to get the control of the game, as Gokulam Kerala already having a vice-like grip. Dangmei Grace with a heavy touch. This is Sandhya. Just near the center circle. The ball is recollected. Gokulam Kerala have it back. Crossfield pass for Manisha Kalyan. And Norifa was very alert. A tussle going on between Grace and Renu. And now venturing forward, Sandhya gets the helping hand from Kartiga. This is Pavitra. Had to go through a lot of hardships to reach at this level. And excellent body swerve from Elizabeth. Ranjana Chanu with the firm header away. El Shaddai dropping deep to recover the ball for Gokulam. So far she's been devoid of service, and now tricking her way past El Shaddai, making good grounds already. She's got defenders on her heels, riding off a couple of challenges. Soumya, El Shaddai with a cross in wonderful technique, but the header just couldn't generate plenty of power with her neck muscle. And it was Dangmei Grace's header not finding the target. And the chance goes begging for the team in maroon. Talking about maroon, another team comes to mind is Mohun Bagan, the side from Kolkata. And Gokulam Kerala, they have trounced both East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and Mohammedan Sporting as well. And defeated Mohun Bagan and East Bengal during the Durand Cup semi-final. And fresh from that victory against Mohun Bagan in the AFC Cup, the group stage match as well. Almost a week ago. Kolkata proving to be a happy hunting ground for the Malabarians. And Praveen, the Gokulam Kerala owner, will be a very happy man. See his side do remarkably well. And now Sandhya, she certainly has a plan here. But that plan is foiled by Ratan Baladevi, the sitting midfielder of Gokulam Kerala. And Dangmei Grace trying to be proactive, but Lalrampari making sure that is not quite possible. And not at least for the time being. First 20 minutes. Both the teams trying to impose themselves more on the ball. And Gokulam Kerala looking to stretch Sethu Madurai down the flanks and open up the center. The likes of Grace, El Shaddai and Soumya will be looking to make late runs inside the box and outfox the Sethu Madurai defense. Both the teams conceded 4 goals. And Gokulam Kerala, they cannot afford to think about the medals. They cannot afford to think about the trophy at present. They got to think about the remaining 69 minutes of this game. And when it is a potential title decider, you cannot settle for anything less. There is always something special on the cards, and all the players present in the field of play will be fighting for their little positions, and if anyone gets into those positions, will have to win those individual battles. Sethu Madurai cannot afford to lose their bottle tonight. And Manisha Kalyan, Hero Indian Women's League's crowning glory in a shining jewel. She has been an important ingredient to the way Gokulam Kerala go forward. Down the left, down the right, through the middle, willing wicket. It was a wicket deflection from Mashalata Devi, which led to that goal being conceded by Gokulam Kerala. But she cancelled out her wickedness by converting from the spot kick. Wickedness cancelled out via a smart penalty take. Sandhya, a slight deflection of a blue shirt. No nonsense from the goal scorer herself. And we can see sizable fans on the stands. Lots of invitees and VIP dignitaries in attendance. The Odisha government doing exceedingly well in making sure the Hero Indian Women's League happens despite all the odds, breaking barriers, the world football going through a difficult time due to the COVID pandemic, putting our life out of gear. Now the world is healing, and with the resumption of this beautiful sport in India, a sign of better days to come. And hopefully from the coming season we will witness fans in the stands. This is Soumya, and not the greatest of the touches, and she is quite aware of that fact herself, that she is a much better player and can do much better. But it is those nerves of the final and the butterflies in the stomach yet to settle down. Ritu Rani, excellent covering, shielding Elizabeth, wins the ball but loses out. Sethu Madurai, this is looking very dangerous. And heart in the mouth kind of stuff. And so close, Sethu Madurai. And look at that. And that was Renu. Ritu Rani just fails to win the ball off her. Lost her marker completely. Renu quickly set off, but the angle slightly went against her. Now El Shaddai, very composed on the ball. A certain calmness that the Ghanaian adds to her gameplay makes it look so interesting, and that has been one of the strong points for Gokulam Kerala this season. They will be missing certainly the creativity and the vision of Winton, but they've got a lot of players in the squad who can fill into those big shoes of Winton. And Dangmei Grace and Manisha Kalyan will have to take some extra responsibilities. The youngster can pull out trick after trick from her bag, but she needs to learn to carry responsibilities on her shoulders which can only drop but drop to beat defenders. Metaphorically, Gokulam Kerala must stand strong. Well, down there one can smell the charge as these two teams rubbing shoulders together like burnt insulation, waiting to be sparked into life. And Gokulam Kerala and Sethu Madurai have been their relentless self towards their march for the title. And Gokulam Kerala have got the luxury of going 3 at the back and 4 depending on what mercurial Manisha offers down the left. It is a battle of attrition, a clash of cans. When two equally ranked teams take on each other, a spark's gonna fly, made of hopes and expectation. This is Anju Tamang, the senior Indian international. That was a tame left footer, not troubling Aditi Chauhan. Beautifully chested down by Elizabeth, and then the layoff cuts in onto her left foot and then dispatching it. Soumya, the ball just escaping El Shaddai. A wayward clearance brought down by Soumya. Having plenty of the ball, Gokulam Kerala, but seems like they have taken their foot off the pedal. And no such clear-cut scoring opportunities since that penalty. They will rely highly on El Shaddai. Cross towards the back post. Cleared away before it could get to Manisha Kalyan by Anju Tamang. The match going on under the floodlight here at the Kalinga Stadium, but there is certainly no lights into the hearts of the Sethu Madurai fans because their team is trailing. Their team is locked at 1-1. It's as good as trailing by a goal because they need a win. A draw won't help. The first half an hour, hardly any time to breathe. A slight knock at El Shaddai's back. A very rare mispass. I cannot afford to do that, especially against a team like Gokulam Kerala, who can be so dangerous on the break. Trying to impose their attacking authority. Sethu Madurai on the flip side, struggling to reinforce their supremacy. And now comes to Sandhya. Clever touch. And the move is spoiled by Kashmina. They've been tasked with tracking back and support the defense. You can see the Gokulam Kerala back foot dropping off very quickly. And Manisha Kalyan and Soumya are trying to stay closer to their fullbacks. And that is how things should be, especially when you are up against a player like Sandhya, who is of supreme quality. And then the first hydration break in this nail-biting of an encounter. And it is locked at 1-1. Sethu Madurai taking an early lead, but that lead is being cancelled out by Ashalatha Devi from the spot kick. And hydration break. It's been a game of high intensity, high tempo. And the cooling break at this point of a time was of utmost importance. Crispin Chetri just asking his team to calm down, keep a cool head, try and work according to the game plan. And Anthony Andrews knows the score line so far in his favor. But he is a kind of coach who will look at it very much from the point of view of full 3 points. While having a chat with Anthony Andrews, he mentioned that he wants to make a wall win record in the Hero Indian Women's League. And Gokulam Kerala, they are unbeaten in 20 games so far. And that, if you take into account those 10 matches that they have played during the Scoreline Kerala Women's League, they've won all 10 of them. 20 straight wins in domestic football. The last time they lost a game was in the AFC Cup to a strong Iraqi side. But that story, that tale is in the past now. And El Shaddai helps it on towards Manisha Kalyan. And Manisha Kalyan looking to set off, last ditch defending, but she comes away with the ball. Manisha Kalyan once again buys half a yard. In comes the cross, flashing it across the face of goal. And El Shaddai has done the job here. It is the Ghanaian to the rescue once again. Right place at the right time. This is the kind of threat the number 15 possesses. And goal number 20 for El Shaddai. 2-1 Gokulam Kerala. And look at that confusion inside the 6-yard box. As Pavitra doesn't deal with it. And El Shaddai was lurking around and finishing it like a splitting cobra. She doesn't need a second invitation. You offer her an inch, she will take a mile. It is 2-1. Midway through the first half. And all those excitement and all those energy that seemed to be enveloped in gloom is now bursting. And such has been the spontaneous outburst of overflowing emotions that even the whistle of the referee cannot be heard. Gokulam Kerala playing this like their last game of the life. Each and every player fighting for the ball, going forward in collective numbers, tracking back in collective numbers, working as a well-oiled machine. And Sethu Madurai, after a positive start, looking dejected and distraught. And such has been the nature of the Hero Indian Women's League. It's never easy. It's never over till it's over. You got to wait till the last minute. Will there be a final twist before the red carpet? And are we in for a grandstand finish to the first 45 minutes? We have witnessed 3 goals. Both the teams with 2 contrasting styles, but with similar ambition in the field of play. And the temperature in Bhubaneswar has gone down by a few notches in recent weeks, but amidst the heat, both the teams looking to take this game by storm here. of the most successful club in recent times, Gokulam Kerala. Winners of the Hero I-League twice, winners of the Tournament Cup back in 2019. And they are on the cusp of winning the Hero Indian Women's League for the second time. But spoke too soon, still a lot of time remaining. Another arduous 45 minutes lying ahead of us. Sethu Madurai had to go through a lot of complexities in setting their squad up for this particular tournament. As a weak header towards the edge of the area, Anju Tamang is there to collect. And Anju Tamang rolls it down the line, but only helps Ashalata Devi instead. Ranjana Charu, Dangmai Grace, Kashmina. Close on her is Ratanbala Devi. Patient and probing Gokulam Kerala. And looking for that one crisp move forward that will spark them back into life. It has sparked them back into life. Ratanbala, wrong footing Kartika. A challenge from Anju Tamang was good enough. Renu from the right. It's a great ball in behind, a stray header from Ritu Rani. And almost clashes with Aditi Chauhan. But she grabs hold of the ball. The senior India international. Has the experience of playing in Europe for West Ham, if I'm not mistaken. A neat judgment from Dalima Chibar as well. All those overlapping runs from Dalima is missing. A much more active defending. That must be the instruction from Anthony Andrews, that when you are especially up against someone like Sandhya, you cannot afford to be out of position. You've got to be cautious, which is why certain calculation, certain restriction to Dalima's movement. This is looking quite serious and worrying signs on the Sethu Madurai bench. Crispin Chetri will be hoping she is all right. She is one of primary weapons of Crispin Chetri for tonight. Not done yet, Gokulam Kerala. Here comes the ball again. Guide on towards Manisha Kalyanis. Goal number 14 for the youngster. And El Shaddai with the assist. 3-1 Gokulam Kerala. The game is slightly slipping away from Sethu Madurai's grip. And now it's the team in maroon all over the team in blue. Soumya's cross. Guide on from El Shaddai. And Manisha Kalyan says, thank you very much. I was waiting for it all day long. And that must be the easiest of the goals scored by Manisha Kalyan in her career. And both the scorers for Gokulam Kerala, one on 20 goals, the other one on 14. Responding on this mammoth occasion. Both of them have scored combined 34 goals. And Gokulam Kerala have scored 66 so far. And the tournament's 300 goal as well. That comes from the post girl of Indian football, Manisha Kalyan. This is Elizabeth. She's got options to her left and right. Anju Tamang also racing forward from the near side. Getting involved in a tussle. And there you go. Now Anthony Andrews will ask his team to calm down and slow down the tempo. So expert in game management, AIFC's youngest coach. Previously with Minerva Punjab, also worked for RIFC. A lot of experience in women's football. That was a neat header from Dangmei Grace. And the rub of the green going Gokulam Kerala's way. Dalima Chiba once again with a pinpoint cross. Not the first time you'll see it, not the last time you've seen it. She's done that over time and again in this competition. With most number of crossing accuracy. Uh, 49-51 in ball possession. In terms of keeping a hold of the ball, it's been evenly poised. In terms of creating and scoring chances, Gokulam Kerala, they are a class apart. Sethu Madurai is simply no match to the Malabarians. But still the Tamil Nadu based side are trying their level best with the weapons available in their armory. I'll tell you what, as the game progresses, you'll see that score line extend in Gokulam's favor. Because in the second half, Sethu Madurai will go all out, and that will leave a lot of spaces in defense, which the likes of El Shaddai and Dangmei Grace will try and exploit. It can turn out to be a goal fest. And apart from the first 30 minutes, it's been Gokulam Kerala all over the pitch for the last quarter of the first half. Still a few seconds remaining to the regulated 45. Now additional minutes remaining. And Gokulam Kerala will go into the break with the lead, additional time of 3 minutes. And Crispin Chetri, he needs half time more than anyone else. Needs to go get back to the drawing board, revive his plan. And Anthony Andrews, he knows it's all about seeing off the remaining 45 minutes. And apart from that early defensive error, Gokulam Kerala absolutely spot on here. They looked slightly jittery in the opening 20 minutes in defense. As I have mentioned, when you've got experience and quality on the pitch, it always tells in the end of the day. And that is exactly what has happened. El Shaddai with a sharp turn. Manisha Kalyan getting involved, making that run vertically, setting up outside the edge of the area. A keeper did get her hand onto it and touching it behind for a corner kick. Manisha Kalyan cutting in vertically, setting up Shomya. And it's a corner for Gokulam. Here's Dalima Chibar. Dalima Chibar takes it. Might be a powerful header. Completely miscued. Right back into the mix, and this time nicely collected by Soumya. She stood firm. Ranjana Chanu with a high cross. Gokulam Kerala teasing and tormenting Sethu Madurai. A goal here for Sethu Madurai before going into the break will certainly put the cat among the pigeons. And for that to happen, they got to put their shoulders to the wheel. But a few time remaining. Less than 30 seconds. And Gokulam Kerala now organized at the back. There was slight weakness in Gokulam Kerala's defense, especially on the right hand side. But that is resolved. And so, whistle for the half time. Sethu Madurai, despite taking an early lead and making a wonderful start to the game, finds themselves trailing by 3-1. And it's El Shaddai putting them in front, followed by an insurance goal from Manisha Kalyan. And all that momentum gained by Sethu Madurai is quelled by El Shaddai's second goal. And these are the first half stats then, 50-50 in terms of ball possession. Not much difference between the two teams in terms of the shots. 2 on target from Sethu, 4 from Gokulam. And both the teams winning a corner kick each. These are the shots taken by Sethu Madurai in the first half. Only 4. Renu Rani and Anju Tamang with 2 apiece. Let's have a look at the shots taken by Gokulam. It's 6. Ratan Bala with 2. El Shaddai with 1. Ashalata with 1. Soumya with 1. And Manisha Kalyan with 1 as well. One chance. Slotted it into the back of the net. Both Ashalata and El Shaddai. And Manisha Kalyan as well. That's the kind of perfection required up top in a final like this. And Gokulam Kerala just living up to its billing. 3 fouls committed by Sethu Madurai. Kastana with 2. Elizabeth with 1. And now let's have a look at the fouls committed by Gokulam. It's none. It's been a pretty clean game from them in the first half. And so let's have a look at the highlights. The last and potential title decider between Sethu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala kicking off at the Kalinga Stadium. Lots of features been written about this game, and this was the opening goal from Sethu Madurai. Renu opening the scoring, capitalizing on a defensive error. Watch out for that celebration. Dalima Chibar's ball towards the far post. Ratan Bala's header not on target. Manisha Kalyan with the throw in. This is the incident. El Shaddai was brought down by the trailing leg of Mitchell, resulting into a penalty converted by Ashalata Devi. Gokulam Kerala back on level terms. And El Shaddai with a wonderful cross header from Dangmei Grace off target. And this was another chance for Renu from a very acute angle. And Anju Tamang's left footer was a tame one. And Manisha Kalyan, look at that, putting it on a platter and doesn't deal with it. Pavitra, the left full back of Sethu Madurai. And she had to pay the price in a big way, as the big man, El Shaddai, was breathing down her necks. And she makes it 2-1. And this was a stray header by Dalima Chiba with the covering. And Saumia's cross. And the third one, El Shaddai with the guide on, and Manisha Kalyan with the insurance goal. A goal early in the second half will certainly kill the game off. And this was another challenge. And so at half time, it's Sethu Madurai 1, and Gokulam Kerala 3. Do not go anywhere. We will join you shortly after this break.
Shall we do a recap of the last challenge?
I think sure, because I think we need more of like the Indian states recap and
No,
then
I don't
Indian
want.
football,
I don't want.
Indian football quiz as well, because every time we've had a challenge,
I don't want to
I'm
lose.
just come prepared to lose it.
No, I want to win. So I will win today.
Oh god, I'm so bad at this.
मैं
Take one for each. Okay. And basically क्या करना है?
I cannot even draw a bird.
You can draw anything, any kind of caricature, anything.
No, I'm saying I don't even know how to draw a bird. Forget drawing anything at all. Ready? Okay. Okay, guess it. Guess it. Take a random guess. कर लिया तो.
And show to that camera also.
Look at this.
Similar, no sir? इसका थोड़ा मोटा, इसका मोटा मेरा छोटा वाला.
This is a tree. That's not a tree. Okay. My drawing is so bad. Okay, yeah, this one she gets.
Oh.
It's 1-1. This one you get.
I think. Yeah.
It's 1-1.
Okay.
Okay. My drawing is really bad. That's what I told you. I cannot even draw a bird. So.
Should we give her 1.5?
Yeah.
For the flower?
That's not fair. We'll see it after my round is done. Okay?
No, it's not. That's only fair. You have to give, no?
I cannot feel anything. What the hell? Can we have another round of the drawing again?
उसके ऊपर एक
I didn't feel anything. Yeah, and just smaller drawings, yeah.
Smaller.
Huh. I drew a sun and a tree. Okay.
Smaller.
Is that what it is? Okay, that's 1-1. What?
Yeah.
What?
You want to
Again,
know
again.
Okay.
That's all I could think.
It's a bird.
I could just feel her go like.
Okay, Let's compare.
I think you might just bring this one as well. Okay, I'll start. You ready?
Okay.
Who is the all-time highest goal scorer and number of goals? All-time. Indian women's football.
Baladevi.
And number of goals? Any guess?
52.
No. But you get half point. She got half point.
She's
for that.
saying-
She said the name correct.
Goals.
Yeah.
63.
No, it's less.
42.
She's taken 3 now.
41.
You get 0.1. 0.5, sorry.
Name all the winners of the year of Hero IWL. ESU.
She just started saying the name.
Yeah. Name of the winners and the years of Hero IWL.
I'll go backwards. Last time was Gokulam. Then it was Sethu. Then it was first edition was ESU, like you just said. Yeah, ESU again. ESU 1-2 edition, and then this is the 5th edition, huh? This is so I got 4 correct. Sethu, Gokulam, ESU, ESU. Who did ESU play the final against? Rising Students. Did Rising Students play? I remember because the son is sitting next to me. You played for Rising Students that year, no? That's how I know, because you traveled for your exam, you came back. When was the last time Gokulam played against Sethu and what was the score?
2019.
No. You've taken 3 tries. Just guess the score. What was the score? Take a wild guess.
3-1.
You close, but that's not the score line. Take one more.
2-1.
Yeah, done. Lost this round. It was 2020 last HIWL edition, Bangalore. 3-0 was the score. Gokulam won against Sethu, 3-0.
How many goals has Sethu scored in this season?
Oh God. 50. Oh God. I know this. I checked the table yesterday. Not 50. 38? Is it correct?
No.
I said 38. She was like, yeah. Is it correct? No. Oh God. I checked the table yesterday. 30. What did I say before?
Okay, 38 or you said something?
But it's more than 38, but it's less than 45. 42?
No, done. 41.
How many goals has Gokulam scored this season? Now you tell me. Now you keep calculating.
60, I think.
No.
58.
No.
Close enough for yes. You guys are saying
Higher.
no.
Higher.
65.
No. It's lesser than that. So you lose this round as well. It was 63. Scored 63.
I said the 63.
No, you said 60 first. You said 60, then you went to 58, then you said 65. You didn't come in the middle. Yeah.
What
We're
was
doing
this?
terrible in this game.
What was the scoreline in 2018-19 Hero IWL? 18 final when Sethu won the IWL.
Oh God. 18, 19. This was
Only
the time we
one
played for
chance.
Gokulam, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were out in the semi-final. That was the only time both of us played for the same team. Sethu won against this one, no? The team we lost to. Which was the team we lost to in the semi-final? The final score 2-0?
No.
Am I closer?
Yeah,
Oh,
बस
God.
एक बार chance है.
Yeah, nahi, yaar.
And welcome back to the live coverage of the Hero Indian Women's League. It is the potential title decider between Sethu Madurai and Gokulam Kerala, with Gokulam Kerala leading by 3-1 going into the break. Sethu Madurai took an early lead through Renu, which was cancelled out by Ashalata Devi via a spot kick, and then El Shaddai, their talisman, giving them that lead, followed by an insurance goal from Manisha Kalyan, just securing Gokulam Kerala's insurance goal and putting them on driver's seat. A lot of words may have been exchanged during the halftime in both the dressing rooms, and Crispin Chetri will have been very vocal in terms of how he wants his team to play. Impressive with his tactics in the previous 10 games, and He has made it no secret that this is the representation of what this country can produce in this sport as the team develops under him. So no changes at halftime. In case you are wondering, proper warm-up for the subs. Given the conditions, the coaches will want to dip in onto that team sheet and onto that bench and find some kind of refreshing up in terms of tactics and in terms of approach. Now we are all set for the second half. It's going to be a defining a 45-minute. Lots of arguments going on in Twitter. Which team is the better? I see the Southern Derby. A team from Tamil Nadu up against a team from Kerala. As Kerala football going through a purple patch. Winning each and every national title. They are on a dream run. Chennai City FC were the winners of the HIWL League back in 2018-19 season from Tamil Nadu. Chennai NFC also won the HIWL ISL for Tamil Nadu. Both the southern sides doing remarkably well in the top flight of Indian football. They have always produced some stalwarts. And Kanika Burman is ready to blow the whistle for the second half. She checks her watch, looking for the final confirmation from the match commissioner, Sudhir Menon. And well on the way to Kalinga in the early evening, it was almost all as if the clouds came out in search of the front seats for this big game. You have to appreciate the culture and tradition. This game is as regular as the tides in Odisha. And we are underway with the second half under the lights here at the Kalinga Stadium. With the presence of the fans and an athletic turf in the middle, it makes this venue so intimate. It is also one of the primary venues for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which is going to be held in India later this year, and also will be hosting the SAF Under-20 Championship in the month of July. It's a wayward clearance. Renu setting it up. No conviction in the shot. And that won't bother Aditi Chauhan. An attempt from the number 11, Grace. Ashalata Devi. And Gokulam got to be very careful to the ways they approach the first 15 minutes of the second half. That is going to be very crucial. And Manisha Kalyan really making life difficult for Arifa. And Anju Tamang mostly involved in terms of defensive works. Sethu Madurai as a team completely pegged back. Throw in for Sethu. Anju Tamang hustled off the ball. But Grace was close to cover up her mistake. And now Dali Machiba, she's got to deal with the pace of Sandhya. She was awarded the best player of the Hero Indian Women's League a couple of seasons ago. She can produce and score both. We saw a glimpse of her against Hunts. In their last game, it was a 5-0 victory for Sethu Madurai. And Anju Tamang from distance. Lots of human traffic in front of her. Two glaring mistakes from Sethu Madurai. Punished in both the occasions, and Gokulam Kerala have hardly been wasteful in front of goal tonight. And that is the experience, that is the quality of this team. They know how to play a final. Moving the ball into the opposition's box with minimal touches, but the effect is maximum. Kashmina with a clever turn. His Grace. Sethu Madurai trying to make something happen, but the number 12 Kartiga seems like she has gotten off the wrong side of the bed. And just marshalling the defense from behind, Aditi Chauhan. Since 1991, the top women's football tournament in India has been the Indian Women's Football Championship, which served as a female equivalent of Santosh Trophy, with states competing against each other. There had not been an organized national football league for women's. However, the first women's state football league was set up in 1976 in Manipur. The Indian Football Association of West Bengal founded Calcutta Women's League in 1993. The league also started in Mumbai and Goa back in 1998 and 99 respectively. But in 2014, after the success of the Indian women's team mainly in the SAF Women's Championship, a push to start a women's football league along the lines of recently started and successful Indian Super League happened. And the first edition was held back in 2016 at Cuttack. 2017, Shillong was the venue, the Nehru Stadium. Rising Students were the champions after beating Eastern Sporting Union in the final. And all the matches so far were played at the Guru Nanak Stadium in Ludhiana, the 2018 edition, where the teams divided into two groups and played against each other once. And the top two teams competed in the semi-final. We'll come back to that. Outside of the boot attempt from Renu. A very, very cheap giveaway from Ritu Rani. Not having the greatest of the nights, the number 16. All her mistakes are very tactfully covered by Ashalata Devi tonight. And you can see putting it out of play, Ritu Rani, not at her usual self, and looking slightly nervous. Maybe nervous of playing of the final. Deceived by the bounce. This has opened up for Elizabeth. But wonderful challenge once again from Ashalata Devi, keeping the number 27 at bay. And that is how once again Ritu Rani's mistake covered up by Ashalata Devi. Just seconds before I was talking about it. Look at that. Closing down the angle at the right time. And now looking to pile on the pressure, Sethu Madurai. The last edition before the pandemic of the Hero Indian Women's League was held in Bengaluru, where we had the Hero HIWL qualifiers last season. A slight deflection. This might be risky for Aditi Chauhan, but the luck of the day is lying with Gokulam Kerala. A slight deflection of Kashmina. And Gokulam Kerala were crowned the champions after beating Kripsa by 3-2 in the final. And the Eastern Sporting Union, the side from Manipur, were the champions of the inaugural edition of the Hero Indian Women's League. Under the guidance of Bembem Devi. Bala Devi, as I've mentioned, is the all-time top goal scorer with 38 goals. Nepal's Sabitra Bhandari, she is the second highest goal scorer with 31. Ratan Bala with 25. Sandhya was very, very entertaining last term. Kamala Devi scored 22 goals. Dangmei Grace 15. And El Shaddai netting in 20. Just in 11 matches. With still about half an hour remaining in this game. More than half an hour, rather. About 36 minutes. The game is completely in Gokulam Kerala's control now. Sethu Madurai getting under the pressure as the minutes tick by. Ratan Bala just too strong for the challenge from Elizabeth. Ashalata Devi with the header. She is having a terrific game tonight. She is certainly a big match player. Covering up Ritu Rani on her mistakes. And Dalima Chubar also not joining the overlap. As you can see, Gokulam Kerala always having numbers back behind the ball. And now Manisha Kalyan looking to take on Arifa. Running out of space. Compelled to play towards Ranjana Chanu with an early ball into no man's land. Nashalata, and upon her was Anjutamang. The government of Odisha, they really gained a widespread reputation for the successful execution of the 90 days challenge for hosting the 2017 Asian Athletics Championship, when the former venue Ranchi backed off from hosting the event 3 months prior. Now this is looking good. That's more like it for Sethu Madurai. Ambitious attempt from Renu. There was absolutely no one in blue waiting inside the box, and she had no other options than to pull the trigger. Gokulam player is down. Referee seeks for medical intervention. Goodness me, a stretcher is out as well. Looks like it's Dalima Chiba. She's had a commendable season.
both defensively as well as attackingly. Anthony Andrews having a word with Karishma Shirvoika, the youngster. One of his weapons of mass destruction. And always a very handy player to have as an option on the bench. Here comes Sethu Madurai. The pullback is straight into the feet of Ratan Bala. She was perfectly placed and on rushing. Number 11 was stopped on her tracks, Grace. It looks like she's got the freedom to glow slightly forward from her deep position. Gokulam Kerala coming into this on the back of a 7-1 victory against Odisha Sports. The biggest margin win in this edition of the Hero Indian Women's League was the opening game against Odisha Police, and that was a 12-0 victory. And Sethu Madurai, they started off their campaign with a 6-1 win against Mata Rukmani. There's the ball in. Cleared away with absolute ease. Easy pickings for the Gokulam Kerala defense. Trying to exert a lot of pressure. As we touch the hour mark here at the Kalinga Stadium. It's still 3-1 in Gokulam's favour. And a change. This is the move I was talking about. Karishma Shirvoika will be coming on. Replacing Soumya, the number 19. Was the hero of the match against Sirvodem. Just the game before taking on Odisha Sports. Work in progress for Sethu. It's not done yet. The lack of adequate publicity of the Indian Women's League has not deterred the competitiveness of the teams and the quality of football that the women have put on show in Bhubaneswar. And apart from Gokulam Kerala, who have been topping the league table by the virtue of goal difference. And Manisha Kalyan win it in a great area. El Shaddai, she is 1-on-1. Can she get the shot away? Defenders quickly converging on the Ghanaian. And she loses her balance. Close shaves for Sethu Madurai. And that would have been a nail in the coffin. And that would have been the game set match for Gokulam. Manisha Kalyan once again with a defense splitting pass. Back-to-back Tamil Nadu state team champions playing a major part in the development of women's football, and they have the belief to breach the unbreachable. Since a lot of players from Tamil Nadu, the communication on and off the field has been great. And even the players from other parts of India and those from outside have been committed to the team and worked hard on gelling with the teammates. And Sandhya added on the secret of Sethu's run this season. Renu Rani, she is the top scorer. She scored today as well. And before the game, she spoke about they're not thinking too much about the goal difference, but they go into every game wanting full 3 points. The India international, Renu Rani summoned, being a part of the national camp has helped her performance. And the hard work and training in terms of strength, building techniques, etc. is helping her give her best for Sethu. And also the exposure trips have certainly helped. And Sethu's 37 goals in their 10-match winning streak may look a shade, a pale compared to the rivals Gokulam's 66. But the 2018-19 champions have the capacity to score plenty with their arsenal of attacking players. But with just a few minutes remaining, how much of that is possible is the question. We are already midway through the second half. And the remote is in Gokulam Kerala's hand. And Sethu Madurai dancing to the tunes of Gokulam Kerala. Manisha Kalyan, the left footer, cutting in from the right side. Completely outfoxing and teasing Pavitra. Attracting a lot of interest from other Asian countries. Manisha Kalyan. This is the Gokulam Kerala bench looking much more relaxed. A smile on Jyoti's face. They know things are working according to their plan. Manisha Kalyan, cute little pull back towards the edge of the area. El Shaddai leaves it for Manisha Kalyan. Manisha Kalyan steps inside, but the shot is wide. This is truly sensational from Gokulam. Human poetry. The flat four and the second back four is completely resolved in this Gokulam Kerala system with the usage of 4 players row. The development of complex soccer formations and systems play was also incorporated into this designation. The logical division into defense, midfield and offense was lost in the process. But with the 4-4-2, this differentiation is still far more apparent to the layman. And 4-2-3-1 is thus a 4-5-1, and this point to a strongly positioned midfield. The trisection of the system may sound easier, but often leads to misunderstandings. The 4-2-3-1 explains the tactical concept far more clearly. Furthermore, there are additional 4-5-1 system, like for example the 4-1-4-1. All those intrications and all those expertise provided by the coaches and coaches' education have been made compulsory. We recently had the AFC Pro license held in Chandigarh. Renedy Singh, Ishfaq Ahmed, Merajuddin Wadu A part of those courses, Renedy Singh was with East Bengal as an assistant coach last season. And Amerajuddin Wadu was in charge of Sudeva Delhi in the Hero I League. Gokulam Kerala's El Shaddai, she is booked. A taken shot. Trying lots of methods and lots of dexterous tricks to beat this Gokulam Kerala defense, who is standing tall like a tower, with Ashalata Devi leading by example among them. This is Manisha Kalyan with a clean set of heels. El Shaddai from a very difficult angle opened up her body towards the right corner of the penalty area. The ball was eventually arriving towards Karishma, and it has eventually crossed the line. And this is looking good. And Gokulam Kerala once again, this time keeping their foot in the pedal. And they know they need a goal here to kill this game off. Flag stays down. Karishma Shirvoikar. Deflection off a blue shirt. And third corner of the game for Gokulam Kerala. And the left full back Ranjana Chanu. This time taken shot. Ranjana onto her weak side. It's a low cross, might be difficult for the defenders. And there's the free header from Dali Machiba. Could have done much better. Allowed time on the ball. And going for it first time. Sees it saved by the goalkeeper. And now Arifa, the right full back. The card is out. Studs were visible. And that was a reckless challenge on Karishma Shirvoikar. A sign of frustration from Sethu Madurai. Dali Machiba, she excels with set pieces. A bit of a tricky angle, but conducive for a right footer. In case she can apply the right technique, it is possible to get their goal number 4, putting her laces through it, using her outstep, not getting the right curl she was looking for. And that's the confirmation of the yellow to Lalram Puri, known as Grace of Sethu Madurai. It's Manisha Kalyan. The silky skills from the number 12. Manisha Kalyan afforded time and space on the ball. El Shaddai with the attempt. It took a couple of deflections in the way. Another corner now for Gokulam. And they want to finish this game on a high. Kashmina on to Karishma Shirvoikar. Incredible distance on the cross. It was sent in with too much pace. Difficult to control for Dali Machiba. And the mighty sides have rubbed shoulders with each other throughout the season and a level in terms of points for the defending champions Gokulam. Everyone mentioned have the slight edge. Crispin Chetri shed light on the season so far and their approach for the ultimate clash. I'll come back to that. El Shaddai, Manisha Kalyan with a lot of power behind that shot, but couldn't direct it goalwards. Crispin mentioned the Gokulam Kerala, the experienced side, but they have the experience. The players in their team, they also have the advantage of youth players who will be eager to go into this kind of a match. It's an opportunity for them to show the potential and character. The game is all about the players. They need to have the belief that they are the best. If they do that, they can bring home the trophy. He sounded candid. Karishma Shirvoika. That was a bright thought from Manisha Kalyan, but the offside flag going up against Karishma Shirvoika. Sandhya, the Sethu Madurai skipper, also joined to express her views, and previously they have faced tough opponents in Kickstart Arrows and SSB and went into those games fully prepared and came back with points. And the forward has been solid at the front for the Tamil Nadu based side and will be looking to inspire her side to victory on the final day. It has been a long journey, but time is ticking away. We are into the last quarter and whistle for the second hydration break of this game. Sethu are a side that has a number of local players from Tamil Nadu, and their policy of promoting the players from the state has done wonders to take women's football forward together. Let's have a look at the goals, beginning with the first one, Renu's header, capitalizing on a defensive error, out-jumping Ashalata Devi, putting it through the legs of Aditi Chauhan. This is how Sethu Madurai took the lead, and El Shaddai was stripped, and Ashalata Devi capitalizing on the spot kick, bringing her side back into the game. Manisha Kalyan, dazzling and daunting down the left, setting it up for El Shaddai. A miscued clearance from Pavitra. And that CR7 style celebration from the Ghanaian star. She played for Black Stars. And this was Soumya's cross, which resulted into the third goal for Gokulam. El Shaddai just guiding it on towards Manisha Kalyan, towards the back post. Just had to tap it in. And she never going to miss those from that sort of range. Surging with confidence. Certainly some tiring legs around. It's quite humid. Ranjana Chanu, a sliding challenge coming in. In steps Ashalata Devi. Sending it on the rise was Kashmina. A nice clean catch for the goalkeeper Soumya. She is bitten thrice tonight. Sethu Madurai promoting a lot of local players over the years. And now they can see the results, and they have so many talented young girls from Tamil Nadu who have proved their worth for both clubs and state and have gone on to play for the national team as well. And Anthony Andrews also opened up about his side's preparation for the game. It's an amazing feeling, he mentioned. And the players are pumped up and everybody is looking forward to the game. Eventually that back pass falling short of Ashalata Devi. Advancing into the opposition's area, Elizabeth cleaning up the danger. Kashmina with her industrious work in the heart of midfield for Gokulam tonight. She is closely partnered by Ratan Bala. And Karishma Shirvaika coming on for Soumya is the only change made by Anthony Andrews. He deciding to go with a tried and tested lineup for this mouth-watering clash. The ball is eventually over Dali Machiba, and now she is out of position. Anju Tamang galloping in dangerously. Beautifully cut out by Riturani this time. Got to stop it from going out. Managing to do so, Sethu Madurai. Sandhya with the cross. Elizabeth's header. It was in fact a shader from the number 27. Goal kick for Gokulam Aditi Chauhan. Play restarts. Ashalata Devi receiving the first pass inside the 18-yard box. Meanwhile, Elizabeth of Sethu Madurai. She is lying down injured. Sethu Madurai wants their number 27 to be fit, safe and sound for the remaining 11 minutes if they are to make something of this game. They are trailing by 2 goals. But stranger things have happened in this sport in the past. A comeback from here on is very much possible. Sethu Madurai getting a change ready. Is the number 17 Durga, who will be coming on. And off goes Kartiga, the number 12. And Elizabeth is still limping, receiving treatment on the touchline. Meanwhile, we do hope she is absolutely fine. Kaushalya smartly playing it between the lines. Sethu Madurai just inviting Gokulam Kerala upon them to exploit the gap behind the defense line. But Ashalata Devi is very much present to arrest the situation. And now Arifa under a bit of a pressure was Kaushalya, but Anju Tamang bailing her out. A regulation time of 9 minutes remaining. Each and every second is important for Sethu Madurai. Gokulam Kerala, they will just look to keep possession of the ball and knock it around from right to left, play short passes, trying to frustrate Sethu Madurai by keeping prolonged possession. And that shape in midfield is beautifully marshalled. There is a certain discipline involved. And Sethu Madurai, they eventually have to keep coming back every time they plan to make an inroad near the final third. It has been a remarkable season for Gokulam Kerala in the Indian domestic football. They are literally unstoppable. Dali Machibar with a reverse pass. El Shaddai looks up once and delivers. Far too behind Manisha Kalyan. Anju Tamang retrieves it and looking to trigger a quick counter. Ratan Bala making sure that is not possible as she breaks the move down before it could even develop. Slightly cramped up Manisha Kalyan. Aditi Chauhan, she's been very vocal. The Gokulam Kerala skipper. She's been a wall in goal throughout the season and also expressed her thoughts. She is glad that the title is decided on the final day of the league, which is very exciting, and the players looking forward to it. And they are just few minutes away from defending the Hero Indian Women's League. Sethu have got a good mix of local players as well. As the national team players, it's going to be a tough job. But they gave their 100% in the field of play tonight. And Devneta Roy, the number 22, comes on for Sethu Madurai, and she scored a wonderful brace. The player who comes from West Bengal, stealing the limelight in the previous game against against Hunts Women Football Club, the Delhi League champions. She was preferred over Elizabeth, and justifying her inclusion in the starting 11 by scoring 2 very quick goals. Mrs. Chibar not taking any risks whatsoever. Sandhya with the throw-in. The space was too tight near the byline. An excellent composure shown there by Ashalata Devi. She scored 2 goals, both of them from spot kick in crucial moments. And now into the path of Dangmei Grace. Karishma Shirvaika is racing from the near side. Manisha Kalyan asking for it. Goes behind Ratan Bala. Kashmina is unmarked. Ranjana Chanu on the overlap. Manisha Kalyan ahead of her. Excellent 1-2. She might go all the way here. A very clever low cross from the number 12. Pulling off a stunning save from Soumya. Thinking with a lot of cunning here. And the ball was eventually bouncing in. Soumya doing remarkably well to get down on time and save the blushes for her team. Ranjana Chanu's corner. Into the roof of the net. You can see both her thighs heavily strapped. Might be getting off the treatment table to get involved in this game, and why not? This is the ultimate fixture in the Hero Indian Women's League. And every Indian women's football players playing in the domestic league will dream to play a game of this stature. And they've done it with a 3-2 scoreline, Gokulam Kerala, back in 2020. It's 3-1 this time. Seems like they've got a certain monopoly, scoring 3 goals in the cup final. Sethu Madurai's title hopes are washed away. A soft foul and a free kick conceded by Gokulam Kerala, and that was the incident. Ranjana Chanu with a challenge from behind on Renu. In the second half, Sethu Madurai, they've had 54% ball possession. Gokulam Kerala just allowing them to keep the ball in their zone. And until and unless someone from midfield start breaking those lines. And El Shaddai with the defensive work finally cleared by Dalima Chiba. Now Sandhya. Sandhya keeps going. Shirt pulled from behind. There's the pull back on point. Slight deflection. And inches away from Renu. And so lucky Gokulam Kerala. A second goal was knocking on the door for Sethu Madurai. And the closest they have gotten in the second half. And somehow that hasn't been a goal. El Shaddai with a long strides, 50-50 situation. Keeper bailing her defense out from the sticky situation. And Soumya this time with her heroics. Ratan Bala, Dangmei Grace, just scanning the environment in the middle of the park, picking out the right passes and the right players at the right time. She's got wonderful stamina and her willingness to run directly at a defense. You'll see her operate down the middle and also drift onto the flanks. A very versatile attacker, can play anywhere across that front four. A very handy player to have in the team as well. Committing herself early, Ashalata Devi this time, but she's got a couple of maroon shirts behind her for protection. Anthony Andrews, he is on the cusp of a famous win. All those hard works, all his plans have beared fruits in the Hero Indian Women's League. Their mission is quite successful. They just got to hold on for the next 180 seconds. The countdown begins in the Gokulam Kerala camp. But can Renu put a dampener to that moment? Oh, what a save from Aditi Chauhan from a close range. Hands on the heads for Renu. A very crucial save. And Devneta Roy denied from close range by Aditi Chauhan. Renu Rani, she has been the most threatening player from Sethu Madurai's point of view in this game. She has been their bright spot. Winning a title from here on looks impossible for Sethu Madurai. They need 3 goals. They can't even do it with a draw. This is Dangmei Grace. She is one of the favorites for the Hero of the Match award tonight for her wonderful display. She's got excellent vision and excellent creativity. One of those things which makes her stand out in the field of play is her space manipulation. That is so crucial in an evenly contested game like this. Now Renu Rani asking questions of the Gokulam Kerala defense, and those are indeed very difficult ones. Just not finding the cutting edge in front of goal. Now Sonali will be coming on, and El Shaddai will be making way for her. The left full back comes on. A defensive move from Anthony Andrews. A very smart one as well. Also buying few important seconds in the bargain. A regulation time of last 20 seconds remaining. Countdown begins in the Gokulam Kerala technical area. Dali Machuba, this is going to be the last move of the game. The referee has already taken the whistle on her mouth. Kanika Burman blows the full-time whistle, and Gokulam Kerala are the champions of the Hero Indian Women's League's 5th edition. And Jyoti is even joining the party with a broken leg, a heartbreak for Sethu Madurai. But Gokulam Kerala players and the fans, their heart is filled with joy. It has been a wonderful campaign for them. One of the most successful clubs in Indian football in the recent time. Winners of the Durand Cup back in 2019, successfully defending the Hero I-League title back-to-back seasons. And the women's team replicating the success of the men's. The example set up by Vincenzo Anese, and it has been quite successfully followed by Anthony Andrews. Gokulam Kerala clinching the Hero Indian Women's League title for the second time within a space of 2 years. There's going to be celebrations, there's going to be tears, there's going to be joy. It was hatching and proper execution of plans week after week, game after game. It is a title made of tactical brilliance and togetherness. Congratulations to Gokulam Kerala Football Club. And Praveen certainly will be a very happy man, so as Anthony Andrews, clinching the maiden Ramco Kerala Women's League title. And that success carried forward in the Hero Indian Women's League as well. The rest of the 11 teams in the Hero Indian Women's League just failed to match to them. And this is today's hero of the match, Tangmei Grace, and she is awarded a check of 5,000 rupees powered by Hero Motorcorp Limited. This is the club, a flag. A club just 6 years old, with a whole lot of accolades, already part of the Indian football history. They have become a chapter now in that long burgeoning list. Each and every season they are creating history, Gokulam Kerala. They will be playing the AFC Women's Club Championship the coming season. The only Indian club to achieve the feat last year, and will be doing so next year as well. Pale faces, a colourful jersey, but no colours certainly into the face of the Sethu Madurai players. They are dejected, they are distraught and disconsolate. They went down fighting against Gokulam Kerala, and had to be said that the better team have won tonight. Crispin Chetri as well. And all those pale faces sums it up from Sethu Madurai's perspective, but joy among the Gokulam Kerala players. And there's the jersey of Winton, was part of this Gokulam Kerala team. And before joining Myanmar for national duties. But it has been a commendable performance from Sethu Madurai as well. And never easy, winning 10 out of 11 matches. They took it till the final day. And Anthony Andrews, as you can see, another feather in his cap. This is Rodifa. She just simply cannot believe it. That is the reality of the night. This is the match stats then, 54-46. The match stats in terms of ball possession, Gokulam Kerala and Sethu Madurai, both of them with 12 shots each. Gokulam Kerala managing to keep 6 of them on target, and that has been the difference between the two teams tonight. And 11 shots taken by Sethu Madurai in this game. Renu Rani with 6, Anju Tamang with 2, Durga, Elizabeth and Devneta Roy with 1 shot each. And now let's have a look at the shots taken by Gokulam Kerala in this game. Manisha Kalyan with 4, El Chadai with 2, Ratan Bala with 2, Ashalata Devi, Dali Machiba, Somya and Karishma Shirvoika with a shot each. Four fouls committed by Sethu Madurai. Kastana with 2. She was also given a yellow card in the first half. And Elizabeth with 1. Grace with 1. The other fouls committed by Gokulam Kerala. Dali Machibar, Ranjana Chanu and El Chadai with 1 fouls each. So let's have a look at the highlights of this mega event. The last and final game of the Hero Indian Women's League kicked off at the Kalinga Stadium. It is match number 66 between Gokulam and Sethu Madurai. This is the last time Sethu Madurai celebrated a goal in the game. Renu Rani heading her team in front. But that joy was short-lived. Dali Machibar sending in a floater. Ratan Bala's header went wide. This is how El Chadai was brought down by Mitchell. That was a genuine case of penalty. And Ashalata Devi responding to the task. Since then, Gokulam Kerala, they never looked back. Header went wide. Renu, this was another chance for Sethu Madurai late in the first half. The angle was difficult. Elizabeth onto Anju Tamang. Easy collection for Aditi Chauhan. This was the cross from Manisha Kalyan and converted by El Chadai. She is so good in pouncing onto the second balls. And the Gokulam Kerala men's team coach Anthony Andrews is among attendants. And this was Dali Machiba covering Anju Tamang. Somia's ball, a third one, a guide one from Elizabeth, from El Chadai, pardon me, towards Manisha Kalyan. A tiny little dink, a very cute ball, and a cute finish from the number 12. And the first half ended 3-1. The second half kicked off. Ritu Rani was having a jittery night. A couple of wonderful chances for Sethu Madurai as well in the second half. But this was Ashalata's challenge. A cross was deflected in. And Elizabeth with the ball forward. Renu had no options, had to pull the trigger. And Manisha Kalyan threading it through for El Chadai. Just went to ground too easily, trying to buy another penalty. Lots of tackles flashing in. This was another setup for Manisha Kalyan. Too much power onto it. This was the low cross, troubling the goalkeeper. Somehow managing to deal with it. Ranjana Chanu bringing down. This is how Sandhya with a pull back. Just whiskers away from Renu Rani's forehead. Devneta Roy's attempt was saved by Aditi Chauhan. Those two chances wasted by Sethu, and this is the hero of the match, Dangmei Grace. And Gokulam Kerala bagging full 3 points and the title as well. This is the full-time scoreline is Sethu Madurai Football Club 1 and Gokulam Kerala 3. I was reading the newspaper earlier in the day, a lot of features being written about Gokulam Kerala and the remarkable achievement and how the foreigners came here, made the Indians part of the culture, the Indians also approving them. They worked as a unit, trained together. And Anthony Andrews at the helm, quite successfully completing the marriage. It's Gokulam Kerala supremacy on Indian football at present. A long chapter, nearly a book could be written about their success, about their grassroots level program, about their structure, and how they scout players, how they build up teams. We saw Kerala Blasters this season losing out on the final to Hyderabad. And Kerala also winning the Santosh Trophy by defeating Bengal in tiebreaker. A new dawn then into the sky of Kerala football. And this dominance seems like will go on for the next few years as well. Just like we had Goa dominating Indian football at one point of time with Dempo Sports Club. And all those team photographs. There's going to be a long celebration back in the team hotel. And that is quite guaranteed. And the stage is getting ready for the prize ceremony. This is the Gokulam Kerala. A photograph with the supporting staffs. There's Anthony Andrews. There's Kevin. Wonderful scenes. They are just one family, the Gokulam Kerala. United by football. This is the front three. El Shaddai stealing all the limelight, taking photographs and selfies. A remarkable achievement in her career as well. Tasting incredible success in Gokulam Kerala colours in a short span of time. In India, finished as the top goal scorer in the scoreline Kerala Women's League and also bagging the Golden Boot Award in the Hero Indian Women's League with 20 goals, including 4 devastating hat-tricks. They are invincible, Gokulam Kerala. It has been a wonderful closing ceremony, a wonderful closing game. Gokulam Kerala winning the Southern Derby and the title as well. And the celebration is going to continue for the next couple of days before they prepare for the upcoming season. A massive impetus from the federation in terms of women's football in the upcoming season, with the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup being the primary event in the month of October. This is Ritu Rani and Kashmina, Samiksha rather. Sonali, she has been utilized brilliantly by Anthony Andrews. Used to be a regular starter for the team during the Kerala Women's League, but lost her place to Ranjana Chanu during the Hero Indian Women's League. But still got minutes. Sometimes she was preferred over Ranjana Chanu. And what has been heartening to see the way Anthony Andrews handled this team together. He's got excellent pedigree. Has the potential to go a long way in the future. All the qualities in him that a big manager must possess. The Sethu Madurai bench in complete silence. A pin drop silence. A wonderful ending to the Hero Indian Women's League. The Odisha government, along with the Odisha Football Association, deserves a lot of credit for successfully organizing the tournament. A couple of teams from the state also participated. Odisha Sports and Odisha Police. Rising Students, who were the champions of the previous edition. Back in 2017, they were the runners-up of 2016. As this particular sport of football develops and grows in this part of the country. And after the successful ending of the 5th edition of the Hero Indian Women's League the coming season, we will be hoping for upgradation in certain areas. We will be hoping more teams participate into it. And so the teams are waiting in queue for the presentation, the ceremony, which is about to begin. And now let's get back to the presentation ceremony. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned as Gokulam Kerala will be presented the wonderful trophy of the Hero Indian Women's League.
What a fantastic way to finish an incredible season of football. Yes, indeed, the last match lived up to the hype and the expectations. And I'm sure none of us watching this match, either out here or on our televisions back home, were disappointed with the fare that we had on this day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now moving on to the post-match presentation ceremony of the Hero Indian Women's League 2021-22 season. We would like to, first of all, welcome and invite our esteemed dignitaries on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, as they walk along, please put your hands together. First, it's Shri Tushar Kanti Behera, the Honorable Minister, Sports and Youth Services, Government of Odisha. Coming along with Mr. Sunil Nadar, the CEO, Leagues Development, All India Football Federation. Mr. Bhaskar Ganguly, ex-India captain and member of the Committee of Administrators. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Mr. Asirbad Behera, Honorary Secretary, Football Association of Odisha. Next on the stage, Mr. Vinil Krishna, Commissioner cum Secretary, Sports and Youth Services Department, Government of Odisha. And next is Mr. Abhishek Yadav, the Deputy General Secretary of the All India Football Federation. With gratitude, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start the ceremony by thanking all our commercial and local partners who have helped us in making this event a grand success. The title partner, Hero Motorcorp. Official ball partner, Nivea. The Sports Department, Government of Odisha. The Football Association of Odisha. Keat and Kims. And now, before we start with the individual team awards, we would like to take this opportunity to present tokens of appreciation on behalf of the All India Football Federation to our local partners, without whom this tournament would not have been possible. First of all, I'd like to request Mr. Sunanda Dar to present a memento to Mr. Asirbad Behera from the Football Association of Odisha. Now I'd like to request Mr. Abhishek Yadav to present a memento to the Honorable Minister, Shri Tushar Kanti Behera, for the continued support provided by the Government of Odisha for the development of football in our country. Now it's time to honor the players who have been outstanding this season of the Hero Indian Women's League. These individual awards, ladies and gentlemen, have been decided based on votes received from all the 12 coaches and captains in the Hero Indian Women's League this season. I would like to request Mr. Vinil Krishna to present the coveted trophy and a check of rupees 75,000 for the emerging player of the league this season. It is Naram Priyanka Devi from the Indian Arrows. Please come along, Priyanka. Next, we would like to request Mr. Bhaskar Ganguly to present the coveted trophy and check of rupees 1 lakh for the best goalkeeper of the league this season. And the best goalkeeper award goes to... It is Mayban Lengtime Nambe Devi. Moving on, would like to request Mr. Asirbad Behra to present the coveted trophy and a check of rupees 1 lakh for the best defender of the league. And the best defender of the league is... I can hear you. Yes, indeed, it is Laitangbam Ashalata Devi. And now I would like to request Mr. Abhishek Yadav to present the coveted trophy and the check of rupees 1 lakh for the highest goal scorer of the league this season. Let's welcome, with 20 goals to her name, she ran away from the pack. It's El Shaddai Achimpong. And the most awaited individual award of the tournament, the hero of the league, the one player who has outperformed and outclassed and been outstanding with a consistency and performance throughout the league. She had 14 goals and many an assist. Yes, it is Malaysia Kalyan. She's been in great form. And now the team prizes. I'd like to request the captain of the runners-up, Sandhya Ranganathan, to kindly come along and claim the runners-up check of rupees 5 lakhs from Mr. Asirbad Behra. It's Sethu Madurai, the runners-up of the Hero Indian Women's League 2021-22. They've done well. Unbeaten until up to this day, ladies and gentlemen. A great performance. And now it's time to crown the heroes. But before that, before we hand over and go with the other parts of the ceremony, would like to request the winners. One by one. Please come along to collect your medals. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of Hero Indian Women's League 2021-22. Take a bow. It's Gokulam Kerala FC. Please come along. The captain can come last. Come along. Walk along. Move, come along for your medals. Deserving champions, unbeaten throughout the tournament. Those were the medals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the champions of the Hero Indian Women's League 2021-22, the captain coming along to this check of rupees 10 lakhs from the Honorable Minister Sri Tushar Kanti Bera is Aditi Chauhan for Gokulam Kerala Football Club. I would like to thank our esteemed dignitaries for your gracious presence out here on the podium. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming along. The entire team of Gokulam FC to join the captain on the stage for the celebrations. Congratulations once more to the champions of India, Gokulam Kerala FC. Make some noise, champion!